Hey everyone, and welcome back to Motivation Library. We're diving into Cash Flow Dojo. Build your home on multiple streams of income today.
Ooh, that title sounds intense.
It does, right? It makes you think we're about to learn some serious money-making moves from Martin Saenz.
It does. And our guide in this dojo is a successful entrepreneur and investor who built his wealth through real estate and mortgage notes.
So before we get into how he did it, what's the core message? What does Saenz want us to walk away with?
It boils down to becoming a cash flow entrepreneur, or a CFE.
A CFE?
Yeah. It's all about shifting our mindset from relying on a single income source to building a home supported by multiple streams of income.
Multiple streams of income.
Exactly. So many of us rely on just one stream.
Right, and that can leave us vulnerable, especially in times like, the pandemic.
Exactly. Saenz points out that 37% of unemployed Americans experienced food shortages during that time. That really hits home how important having a diversified income strategy can be.
It's a wake-up call for sure. And yeah, I'm already intrigued by Saenz's personal story. I mean, the guy started selling rocks and bagels as a kid. Can you believe that?
Talk about an early entrepreneurial spirit. It's fascinating how these simple ventures can foreshadow a future path.
It's like he was practicing his sales pitch from day one. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, right? He had his share of struggles along the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even when he was making good money, he admits to struggling with managing it.
It's a common trap. Earning well, but not having a plan for that money.
Right. Saenz learned the hard way that financial discipline is just as crucial as earning power.
And this seems to have followed him into adulthood. Even with a successful career as a mortgage officer, he hadn't figured out the whole financial freedom thing. What was the turning point for him?
Well, he went through a divorce.
Oh.
Which, while challenging, forced him to become more independent, not just in relationships, but in his approach to life. Around that time, he discovered personal development and business books. Authors like Stephen Covey and, of course, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Classic.
Yes. It made him realize he needed to take control of his financial future.
Stop working for someone else's dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he got an MBA.
Makes sense. Thinking it would unlock even greater earning potential.
You would think, right. But he ended up with more debt and still no real sense of financial freedom.
It's classic. Climbing the corporate ladder, but feeling stuck on a treadmill.
Precisely. But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
He got fired from his job at Sears.
Wait, fired. After all that education, what happened?
It seems that there were office politics involved, even though his team was highly productive.
You've got to be kidding.
Nope. He was even using creative motivational techniques, like scratch-off tickets as rewards.
Scratch-off tickets. That's kind of brilliant.
I know, right? Maybe Sears missed out on an innovative manager.
Maybe. So this setback was a blessing in disguise.
It was. It pushed Saenz and his wife Ruth to start their own business.
Good for them. So what did they start?
They considered a deli at first.
Oh.
Yeah, Ruth is a phenomenal cook. But they ultimately went big and targeted the federal government.
Wow. What were they selling?
They started a government contracting company specializing in high-end displays for museums and government buildings.
Talk about aiming high. Did it pay off?
It did. After a few years, they grew it into a multi-million-dollar company.
Wow.
They even bought their headquarters building and started investing in real estate on the side.
So they were living the dream.
You'd think so, right? But Saenz was still craving control and freedom.
Even with a multi-million-dollar business.
Yes. The pressure of government contracting was intense. He wanted income that worked for him even when he wasn't actively working.
So he wanted to be a true cash flow entrepreneur.
Yes. So he sold the company at its peak.
Wow, that takes guts. What did he do next?
This is where his current focus comes in. Real estate note investing.
Okay, so we've gone from selling rocks to government contracts to mortgage notes. This guy doesn't shy away from a challenge. But before we get into that, let's recap what we've learned about Saenz so far.
Absolutely. Martin Saenz embodies the cash flow entrepreneur mindset.
He's shown us that it's not just about working hard, but working smart. Adapting and building a system that generates income even when you're not actively working.
And he's proof that the path to financial freedom isn't always linear. It's about learning from setbacks and seeking new opportunities.
And it's possible to build wealth while making a positive impact.
A message that resonates with me for sure.
Me too. Now let's get back to this world of real estate note investing. What exactly is it? And how did it help Saenz unlock true financial freedom?
Welcome back to Motivation Library. We're deep in the cash flow dojo with Martin Saenz exploring his path to financial freedom through real estate note investing.
You know, this idea of buying discounted mortgage notes, It sounds a bit like a financial mystery to me. Can you break down what it actually involves?
Absolutely. Let's imagine someone struggling to make their mortgage payments. Instead of facing foreclosure, they might choose to sell their mortgage note at a discount to an investor.
Like Saenz?
Exactly. Saenz buys the note at a lower price and then works with the borrower to create more affordable terms, maybe extending the loan or reducing the interest rate.
Wait, so it's not about squeezing the borrower.
Not at all. Saenz calls this his win-win-win model.
Win-win-win.
Yes, the seller gets liquidity, Saenz earns passive income, and the borrower gets to stay in their home.
I'm starting to see the appeal. It's not just about profit, it's about making a positive impact. But real estate investing can feel intimidating. Was Saenz ever hesitant?
Well, remember, he has experience as a mortgage officer, but he's open about making mistakes, learning, and refining his strategy.
Everyone makes mistakes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He even shares a story about investing in Freddie Mac stock thinking it couldn't go any lower.
Oh no, did he lose big?
He did. His wife Ruth has teased him about the Freddie Mac debacle ever since.
I've definitely had my share of investment blunders. But it sounds like real estate note investing was a game changer for him. Did it live up to his expectations?
Absolutely. He found it rewarding financially and personally. He enjoys analyzing deals, negotiating, and finding solutions for borrowers. He describes himself as a compassionate lender.
That's refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
So he's built this business, he's helping people, and he's finally achieved that freedom he was craving. But does he ever talk about the challenges? It can't all be smooth sailing.
You're right. He acknowledges the hard work, dedication, and discipline it takes. Long hours, constant learning, and the ability to adapt are all part of the game.
I think sometimes we forget about that. We get caught up in the glamorous image of entrepreneurship.
You're right. He's a big believer in mindset visualization and positive affirmations. He even uses a planner to track his goals and accomplishments.
So it's about staying organized and focused.
Yes, and he emphasizes the importance of a supportive community.
It's about finding your tribe.
Exactly. But it's not just about personal gain. He talks about giving back and helping others achieve financial freedom, too. Absolutely. He sees it as a responsibility to share his knowledge. Whether it's through mentoring online courses or books like Cashflow Dojo, he's committed to paying it forward.
He's creating a ripple effect of positive change.
The idea that your network is one of your most valuable assets.
It's not what you
The big advocates and contacts. It's the idea that your network is one of your most valuable assets.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly. He's a big advocate for using LinkedIn, especially Sales Navigator, to connect with people in specific industries.
So being proactive and strategic about networking.
Yes. He also encourages attending events and joining mastermind groups.
It's about putting yourself out there.
Absolutely. But he emphasizes authentic connections based